New here at 6:30, a man is dead after an overnight shooting in the Russell neighborhood. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Dieterer. LMPD says they responded to the shooting just after 2 this morning near the intersection of 18th and Jefferson Streets. When officers arrived, they found a man with fatal gunshot wounds inside a car. Anyone with information about the shooting is encouraged to call the anonymous tip line. That number is 574 LMPD. And Shively police have made an arrest in yesterday's deadly shooting of a teen. 27-year-old DeMontez Daniel Hutchins has been charged with murder and tampering with physical evidence in connection with the shooting. Police say the shooting happened last night around 6:30. When officers arrived, they found a boy in his early teens with gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. And new tonight, after charges were dropped against the 2 men accused of shooting and killing a Jefferson County Sheriff deputy, the family has upped the reward for information leading to a conviction. Deputy Brandon Shirley was shot and killed in August of 2021 while working off-duty security. 5 months later, Jesse Johnson and Marquise Mitchell were arrested and charged with murder. Now, the prosecutor's office has dropped the case, citing a lack of evidence and new information that has come to light. In a new statement, the Shirley family said they are heartbroken and deeply frustrated by the move, saying in part, quote, "This is not just about seeking justice for Brandon. It's about ensuring that no other family has to endure what we're going through. Our son dedicated his life to serving and protecting others, and he deserves a real investigation by people who genuinely care about finding the truth," end quote. The family has now added $10,000 to the existing $75,000 reward for information leading to a conviction. Name change clinics in Louisville are continuing to provide services amid new limitations on recognizing genders by the federal government. One of the many executive orders issued by President Donald Trump just within the last week. WHAS11's Clarice Shirley and photojournalist Aspen Hester attended a recent clinic. Clarice joins us now in the studio. And Clarice, how are people responding to these changes?
Alex, the recent executive order and new Kentucky state bills introduced this month during the legislative session are adding those limitations. But people tell me even with these changes, they don't feel threatened.
And you can have a seat at
Logan Street Market in Germantown is a space for change.
The forms themselves are actually not that complicated, but people have never done it before and they're afraid about going to court by themselves, that kind of thing.
Where people from all over Kentucky can receive guidance to change their names.
Very straightforward. It is a legal document, so there's a lot of just asking for names and different identification numbers and all that.
Nikki is going through the process herself, filling out the form amid uncertain times.
I would say it's very nerve-wracking. It's very much of why us, why me. It feels like there's an unnecessary focus on it.
During President Donald Trump's first week in office, he declared only 2 genders would be recognized, male and female.
Transgender operations, which became the rage, will occur very rarely.
2 years ago, Kentucky's legislature banned gender-affirming care for minors. In this legislative session, there have been 3 bills introduced relating to accepting funding on gender transformation services and conversion therapy, along with school bathroom assignments. As limitations continue for transgender people, the clinics continue.
Because it's the right thing to do, and on the name change petition, it doesn't ask other than why you change your name. We put personal preference because it's nobody else's business.
Preparing for uncertain times ahead.
It makes me have like backup plans.
Trump's executive order concerning gender recognition has been challenged by medical professionals and legal experts. The next clinic is scheduled for March 22nd at Hopatomica from 11 in the morning until 2. In the studio, Clarice Shirley, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, thank you, Clarice. And a new challenge to Kentucky's strict abortion ban will be heard in court tomorrow. The lawsuit was filed by the Kentucky ACLU on behalf of a pregnant Louisville woman called Mary Poe to protect her privacy. The lawsuit claims that Kentucky laws blocking abortions violate the woman's constitutional rights to privacy and self-determination. Kentucky's Right to Life is pushing back on that claim.
And that's not to say that every woman has to raise the child that she's carrying, but to have that baby and to give that baby a chance.
I think that the Right to Life organization, if they truly want to be pro-life, they should focus on making sure that children in Kentucky are fed and that, people aren't dying because they can't get medical treatment.
Poe had the abortion procedure done in another state after she filed the lawsuit. Arguments will be heard tomorrow, where the motion for class certification will be addressed. And new tonight, Louisville Representative Morgan McGarvey is slamming President Donald Trump's pardons of defendants charged in connection with storming the Capitol on January 6th. In a video posted to social media, McGarvey highlighted the stories from Capitol Police. He called the move dangerous and said it makes us all less safe. We asked McGarvey about the post yesterday.
He should not have done this. It showed, I think, a callousness to what happened, a willingness to try to rewrite what happened, and sort of his continued campaign of vengeance now that he's become president again.
Trump issued his pardons the first day he was in office and said that many of the people charged were serving ridiculous and excessive sentences. Also new tonight, we're learning soldiers from Fort Campbell, Kentucky are now heading to the southern border to help in Trump's mass deportation plans and securing the southern border. Soldiers assigned to the 716th Military Police Battalion and the 101st Airborne Division will integrate with military forces already working at the border. In an interview with ABC's Martha Raddatz, Trump's border czar Tom Homan said they would be using military planes daily to fly migrants out of the country.
Military on the border, not only helping us with departure flights on military planes, but they're helping to build infrastructure. They're putting up Constantina where they're down there to create a secure border and lock that border down. And DOD's helped administrations before, but not at this level. So it's a force multiplier, and it's sending a strong signal to the world, our border's closed.
According to U.S. officials, on Thursday, the military flew more than 150 migrants to Guatemala on 2 separate flights. However, 2 flights carrying at least 160 people were blocked from landing in Colombia today by the government there. Colombian President Gustavo Petro said his government wouldn't accept flights carrying migrants deported from the U.S. until the Trump administration treats them with dignity. In response, President Trump announced 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the U.S. from Colombia. In 1 week, those tariffs will raise to 50%. Trump also put into place a travel ban and revoked visas on Colombian government officials. In a post to social media, Trump said the measures were just the beginning, saying in part, quote, "We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of the criminals they forced into the United States," end quote. No official order had been issued as of this afternoon that would allow for the implementation of the measures Trump announced. In response, Colombia has ordered an increase of import tariffs on U.S. goods.